Now, from the station that works for you, this is Channel 2 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Erin Fogelsong.
And I'm Glenn McIntyre. Thanks for joining us. We start tonight with a breaking news update. A Sapulpa man is dead after a bizarre confrontation with police officers. It's a story you saw first on Channel 2 last night. It happened at this house on North Hodge Street in Sapulpa. Police went to the house searching for a man they say had stolen beer from a nearby store. They arrested him, but then became involved in a confrontation with the suspect's cousin, 25-year-old Daryl Wick. The only eyewitness, Wick's girlfriend, says police tried to pull him through a glass screen door. The glass broke, slashing his throat. He died a short time later. Right now, OSBI is investigating the incident. New tonight, Channel 2's Pete Thompson sat down for an exclusive interview with Wick's family members. He joins us live in Sapulpa.
This is the home where it happened. You can see the screen door pulled out here and the broken glass. Now, the OSBI will investigate whether or not officers reached through here and tried to pull Derek Wick through the glass. We spoke to family members today who say they are outraged and obviously reeling over the death of their son. Family members gathered in Kellyville today, fighting the grief and anger.
They killed my son.
For Wick's mom, Linda, it only gets worse. She arrived at the scene after the incident last night, where she was told that her son would be transported to St. Francis Hospital.
So I went all the way to St. Francis, and he wasn't there. He was dead all the time in the ambulance.
And with the shock and horror comes the questions. Daryl Wick had been in trouble with the law before, but his family says he was trying to pull his life together.
He's paid all his fines. He's gone to court. He was working. He worked on the same job for 7 years.
Happy guy.
The OSBI investigation will focus on whether or not officers pulled Daryl through this glass door. We spoke to Wick's girlfriend last night, who watched it all happen.
But I saw the police officer pull him through the screen door. I was the witness.
Now the family just wants to know why. They don't believe it was an accident. And Wick's brother Dale says it doesn't matter if he stole beer or not.
No reason to kill someone over a misdemeanor, you know.
Now, the incident is, of course, under investigation. Sapulpa police did not have a comment today. An autopsy was performed in Tulsa today, and OSBI will continue the investigation and then over the next few days. Live in Sapulpa, Pete Thompson, Channel 2 works for you.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Sapulpa police say they will release a statement tomorrow morning regarding the incident.
Police are investigating the stabbing death of a young man at a birthday party. It happened in Muskogee last night. Officers were called out to a fight at the fairgrounds. When they arrived, 3 people had been stabbed. 20-year-old Guillermo Hernandez died at the scene. The other victims are recovering in the hospital. Police arrested 4 people in connection with the stabbings, but they still need more information for the investigation. If you can help, call the Muskogee Crime Stoppers hotline at 682-COPS. A Tulsa man is recovering after being shot at an apartment complex this afternoon. The man was at a friend's house at the St. Thomas Square Apartments when he was assaulted by someone he says was trying to break into the home. He was running through a parking lot trying to escape when shots were fired. The man was struck in the head. Police say he is in stable condition, though. Police are still investigating the incident.
In McAllister, law enforcement agencies are searching for a prison escapee. 33-year-old Roger Scott Robinson was discovered missing from the Jackie Brannon Correctional Center early yesterday. He's a white man, 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing 160 pounds. He was last seen wearing a gray sweatsuit. Tracking dogs have followed his scent to 2 areas, but still came up empty-handed. Robinson was serving concurrent 20-year sentences for armed robbery after a prior felony conviction. This is the 3rd escape from the correctional center in the last month.
President Bush says compassion is on the move in Punta Gorda, Florida, one of the communities hardest hit by Hurricane Charlie. The president took an aerial tour of the damage on the west coast of the state, where 145-mile-an-hour winds destroyed numerous homes and businesses on Friday. The president praised the quick assistance from federal and state officials, but reminded Florida residents that recovery efforts would take some time.
There's a lot of help moving into this part of the world. It's going to take a while to rebuild it. But the government's job is to help people rebuild their lives, and that's what's happening.
President Bush was accompanied by his brother, Florida Governor Jeb Bush, and the director of FEMA. Meantime, the Federal Emergency Management Agency and state officials in Florida are doing their best to coordinate response to Hurricane Charlie. Right now, more than 1 million people are still without power, and it could take 2 weeks to be restored. Shelters are also being set up for the thousands left homeless. But in the midst of all the recovery efforts, authorities issued a fierce warning about price gouging.
We're not playing games. We're not giving warnings. If somebody is out there price gouging, they are going to be charged. And if it's a criminal offense, we will get the Attorney General's office to carry those charges on to court.
Officials say there is still no exact count of the number of homes destroyed in the state, but they say 16 people have lost their lives.
We've seen a little bit of cloud cover today. Not a lot of rainfall, though, as we're taking a live look at Double Doppler 2. Just a few little showers weakening between Bristow and also Stillwater. Temperatures today made it up into the lower 80s for the afternoon. We've made it up to 83 so far, but not near that normal of about 94. As we're looking at our neighborhood network temperatures around the region, lower 80s here at Channel 2 after 59 degrees this morning. Temperatures are even cooler than that, even up toward Bartlesville, 57 for your morning low. You're at 81 right now with those winds out of the southeast on the light side. And as we head up towards Sapulpa, 80 after that morning low of about 55. What can we expect for the new work week? I'll have the answer coming back in early warning weather.
All right, thank you, Shane. Iraqi officials now appear to be backing down from a threat to arrest any reporters who don't leave the city of Najaf. That's the latest on the situation in Iraq. The order was delivered by police in Najaf. It came as U.S. and Iraqi troops resumed an offensive against supporters of anti-U.S. cleric Muqtada al-Sadr. But now a government spokesman reports that Iraq's interior minister says the government will be taking it easy on the journalists. The interior minister says that if journalists want to stay, it will be at their own risk.
An update now to some breaking news we first brought you yesterday. Police have now identified the 17-year-old boy who drowned in Grand Lake, and Channel 2 has learned the boy's father is currently serving overseas in Iraq. Officials recovered the body of Daniel Narden in the Honey Creek section of Grand Lake after a 2-hour search. The mentally challenged teen was from Broken Arrow. Authorities believe he may have slipped into the water while stepping from a boat to a dock. Narden's father has been notified of his son's death and is on his way home from Iraq.
A judge has upheld a law that allows active duty military members to delay making child support payments. A Canadian county woman challenged the Service Members Civil Relief Act of 2003, saying child support payments should not be subject to the exemption. But Wednesday, a judge ruled against the woman's petition. The federal law gives military members certain rights that cover some financial agreements.
A water main break sends flying debris and gushes of water into the sky. We'll show you what happened coming up in our 2 View on America.
And still ahead, Olympic security is said to be top-notch, but one journalist puts it to the test. We'll explain.
As we look outside, we've been seeing the cloud cover, a few breaks in the clouds. What is that, a bug there on the camera? We'll figure out the 7-day forecast and tell you it's going to get a little warmer when we come back.
You're watching Channel 2 News with Aaron Fogelsong, Glenn McIntyre, meteorologist Shane Carter, and sports with Jason Shackelford. This is Channel 2 News at 5.
A major water main break creates a 50-foot geyser right in the middle of a busy roadway.
That story tops our 2 View on America tonight. It happened in New York. Witnesses said it looked like a water cannon shooting straight out of the road. The water main break damaged one garage and sent chunks of pavement and rocks flying through the air. The water department had to shut down the system to fix the break, and about 24 customers spent the day without water.
Well, a little unusual, but tornadoes hit New Hampshire last night. An amateur photographer caught this water spout on tape. No one was injured, but another twister reported nearby uprooted trees and knocked down power lines. These severe storms are the remnants of Tropical Storm Bonnie.
Final stop, California. Folks there dove into a mountain of shiny pennies and golden dollars as part of a promotion by Coinstar Incorporated. The game required a team of people to gather as many coins as they could in 90 seconds and then carry them to their container 25 feet away. The team with the highest dollar value in their container won $1,900.
It is day 3 of the 2004 Olympic Summer Games in Athens, but today a British newspaper claims they have uncovered security flaws at the Olympics. The reporter who works for the paper says that he was able to leave suspicious-looking packages at the main stadium. He even claims to have stood within 60 feet of Tony Blair and other dignitaries during Friday's opening ceremonies. The tabloid also claimed the reporter wandered around the site with name tags reading Michael Mouse and Robert bin Laden. The Athens Organizing Committee has dismissed the story as inaccurate and misleading.
Well, it was 69 years ago today that Will Rogers and Wiley Post died in a plane crash. We'll show you how hundreds commemorated the event in Ulaga.
And it's also the anniversary of the event that would symbolize the 60s generation. Remembering Woodstock still ahead. But before we head to break, here's what's coming up tonight on Channel 2 at the Olympics. Tonight, the women compete in the gymnastics, followed by men's and women's swimming. Then the USA women compete in beach volleyball. Also, see the swimming semifinals. Then be sure to join us for the Channel 2 News Night Beat. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. More people are flying in and out of Oklahoma's airports. Tulsa International had almost 140,000 outbound passengers in July. The airport has seen 6 consecutive months of growth, and traffic is up 9% from this time last year. Nearly 161,000 passengers boarded planes at Will Rogers in Oklahoma City last month, up 1% from last July. The airport has seen traffic increases in 13 of the past 14 months.
Well, there's no doubt Will Rogers said it best. If you don't like the weather in Oklahoma, wait a few minutes. Well, the weather changed this morning, but not until well after the Will Rogers fly-in this morning. Under a mainly blue sky, dozens of vintage planes landed at the Will Rogers Birthplace Ranch in Ulaga for today's event. It was exactly 69 years ago today that Oklahoma's favorite son, Will Rogers, and Wiley Post died in a plane crash in Barrow, Alaska. Hundreds turned out for the ceremony and to watch the really cool planes. Among them, Wiley Post's first and youngest student and Will Rogers' grandson.
It's been 35 years since a New York hayfield and music helped define a generation. It was today, back in 1969, that music promoters held Woodstock on a dairy farm. They chose the area after they were unable to secure a festival site. Around 400,000 people arrived to hear The Who and Jimi Hendrix for a weekend in August. The images of mud, rain, and music remain symbols of the culture of the 1960s.
And staying in the music scene, Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts is undergoing treatment for throat cancer. A spokesman for the 63-year-old told reporters today that the diagnosis was made in June and that Watts has completed 4 of a 6-week radiation therapy program at a London hospital. Watts is expected to make a full recovery and begin working with the rest of the Stones later in the year. His treatment and recovery aren't expected to interfere with the band's touring or the recording schedule.
And meteorologist Shane Carter joins us now, and not quite as much sunshine as yesterday.
And you know, this afternoon we're starting to see a couple breaks in the clouds. So a little sunshine, but earlier, you know, the past 2 hours it has been overcast out there. As we take a live look across Tulsa right now, the Arkansas River, we are seeing a little cloud cover off and on, but that's not keeping the folks from getting out and heading to Riverside Park to enjoy a little bit of exercise out there. Look, the bug is gone off the camera. It is gone. Well, let's talk about our weather headlines. As we take you over the next couple of days, you are going to notice our weather will be getting warmer. But still, we're in the middle of one of the coolest summers, but you may need the umbrella before the new week is all said and done. As we take a look at temperatures around the region today, we're going to be seeing not only clouds, but a few showers, a few light showers from Stillwater down to about Bristow. That is about it. But as we zoom on out, especially to the southwest, we're watching a complex of storms down to the southwest of Wichita Falls. These are trying to move up to the northeast, but I do expect most of this will be weakened down before it has a chance to move into our forecast area. How about temperatures we were talking about? Well, you're looking at the cloud cover, 79 out at the airport, 77 in Bartlesville, also up toward Miami. We're seeing upper 70s, 75 toward Coffeyville as we're checking on the southern part of Kansas after a cool morning with temperatures into the 50s for a lot of us. And you know, we're in the middle of one of these cool summers. I went back and checked the figures, and as we go back and look at the records over the past 99 years, June is the 20th coolest summer we've had with the average temperature of about 75 degrees. July, the 11th coolest with 79, and then so far in August our average temperature has been 86. So we're going to check out the math as we go through the next couple of weeks, and we'll report back to you on a final summertime figure as we close August down. Well, over the past few hours and taking you back this morning, you can see a few showers mainly west of us. Hard to move to the east. We've seen a lot of this weekend. We've still had the cloud cover. Best rain chances down to the west and south. And as we go to Futurecast, here's what we're going to be seeing mainly by 10 o'clock tonight. A few showers mainly to the south. I think most of us will be seeing a little bit of cloud cover, and that's about it. As we're heading toward tomorrow morning, more cloud cover means warmer temperatures, about 65 getting started by 7 o'clock. As we're heading through the day, we will see a few little spotty showers, but that is about it, about a 30% chance of a few showers toward the afternoon. You're watching as a cold front is getting closer by Tuesday morning. I do believe the front will stay primarily across Kansas. Temperatures will really warm up by Tuesday with more sunshine and those winds out of the southwest. We're looking at about 90 degrees coming up as we go through the second day of the work week, and even warmer by Wednesday. How about tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock? Mainly cloudy skies, a few isolated showers possible. I think most of us, though, will remain dry. 59 toward Bartlesville, 57 in Grove, with lower 60s toward Muskogee, and 64 at Bristow. Sunrise tomorrow morning at about 6:43. Now, as we go through the day tomorrow, we're going to be seeing partly to mostly cloudy skies, a small chance of showers for the afternoon. Temperatures a couple degrees warmer, about 85 here in town. Also toward Bristow, Stillwater, 82 as you head up toward Grove, so a little bit cooler there along the northeast. And looking at our forecast as we break it down hour by hour, 77 or 71 by 10 o'clock tonight, with 65 by tomorrow morning, 85 tomorrow afternoon, winds out of the southwest. And as we go through the next few days, we're going to notice 85 on Monday, 90 then on Tuesday, with lower 90s on Wednesday. Heading through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, small chance of showers, temperatures into the lower 90s, and then partly sunny as we go toward next Sunday.
A summer for the record books.
Hey, maybe so.
Rainy and muggy, not very good for the hair. Not that any of you would understand that.
We'll keep
I
the
understand.
chances
I'm
less now.
Plenty of product in this hair.
Oh,
That's right.
all right.
Plenty.
Well, Marty Carpenter is here now with a look at sports, not hair. And I was reading one of the football predictors. Oh, they all make predictions. But OU, not just one of the best teams of the year, but ever. One of them was saying.
Yeah, a lot of people looking forward to OU football because they should win a lot of football games this year.
We'll
In
see.
fact, just a few minutes from now, the Sooners are going to kick off their first scrimmage of the fall camp, and they'll do it as the second-ranked team in the country. Yesterday, the AP released its poll, and the AP agrees with the coaches on the first two predictions anyway. USC #1 in both polls, with the Sooners second. That's where the AP and the coaches part ways. Georgia takes the third spot in the AP poll, with LSU at #4. Florida State comes in fifth. Coach Stoops says it's not about the polls, it's just about those championships.
That's what we're always shooting for, Big 12 and national championships. And this team has a legitimate chance, I believe, if we can keep the attitude right and work ethic like it has been, we'll have that opportunity.
From Oklahoma State University, running back Barry Sanders.
What a week for Barry Sanders. Last Sunday, he was enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Yesterday, he goes into the college football version. Sanders was there with other legends like Joe Theismann. The College Hall is a lot more hands-on, as you can see. Barry took some time to show a youngster the correct way to take a handoff, but he decided to pass on a flag football contest as well. You don't want to get out there and get too roughed up. After the Cowboys' preseason opening loss to Houston last night, Bill Parcells says he was disappointed and that he's ready to spend more time playing the guys who are actually going to play. No word on whether or not that means Drew Henson, the rookie quarterback, shook off some early rust. He completed his first 4 passes of the night and went 8 for 11 for 94 yards before leaving the game in the third quarter. But he should have gotten out just a few plays earlier, because welcome to the NFL, rookie. Henson gets dropped, and he's officially ready for some football. As for the running game, Julius Jones watched until the second half, but when he got in, showed everybody why the Cowboys took him in the second round. Cowboys still have a few things to work on. They get the horns in this one, losing 18-0. Arena football, 1 down, just 2 more to go. The Talons opened the playoff portion of their AF2 title defense last night against the Louisville Fire. Both of these teams came into the game averaging more than 50 points per contest. The Talons got a huge game from both Bob Bees and his favorite target, Robert Reed. Reed scored 3 touchdowns. Bees threw for 194 yards and 6 touchdowns in the victory. This one was closer than they wanted it to be, but the Talons survived. Final score 49-42. They move on to the conference finals. As for their next opponent, despite trailing 21-3 in the first half, the Peoria Pirates come from behind to beat Bakersfield. The Talons host the Pirates Saturday night at 7:30. The Olympic Games continue tonight right here on Channel 2, but earlier today it was an upset for the red, white, and blue. In a game that aired live on Channel 2 this afternoon, Puerto Rico upsets the United States in men's basketball. The Dream Team, a nightmare of a day, 92-73 the final. This is actually the first ever Olympic loss for the U.S. since professionals were first allowed to play back in 1992. One big difference was the three-point shooting. The U.S. made just 3 of 24 from beyond the arc. At one point, the Americans missed 16 straight threes. Puerto Rico's Carlos Arroyo, who plays for the Utah Jazz, had 24 points. Need to make Puerto Rico a state, evidently. Baseball now, the Texas Rangers are just a game and a half out of first place in the American League West. They're also a game behind the Red Sox in the wild card chase. Every game's important for the Rangers at this point, taking on Tampa Bay today. Devil Rays up 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Lance Nix puts the scoreboard operator to work. It's a 2-run homer, his 13th of the year, and the Rangers lead 2-1. Top of the 3rd, Ryan Drees hasn't allowed a home run in 66 innings of work. Aubrey Huff says, my man, it's time to start a new streak. Off the foul pole, that makes it fair, ties the game at 2. But the Rangers could really use a home run, and when you really need a homer, the signal from Mark Teixeira. This one's a 2-run job. The Rangers win 6-2. Drees picks up his 10th win of the season. As for those teams chasing the Rangers, a couple other important games. In the 6th inning, Oakland up 1-0 on Kansas City. That's not good news for Texas, nor is this. Anaheim also with a 2-1 lead on Detroit in the 6th inning. The final round of the PGA Championship is underway, and even without Tiger in the mix, this one could be a lot of fun down the stretch. Your leader after 3 rounds, Vijay Singh, went +3 through his first 8, and that opened the door for a big old group of contenders. Take a look at the leaderboard right now. Justin Leonard through 8 holes is at 11 under. He's jumped all the way up to the top. Stephen Ames at 9 under through 10 holes. Vijay Singh is down to 9 under through 8. Chris Riley is 8 under through 13. As for the big names that aren't Tiger Woods, Ernie Els, 7 under through 15. Phil Mickelson, 7 under through 13. KJ Choi is done for the day in the clubhouse at 6 under. We'll, of course, have highlights and reaction coming up tonight on the 11 o'clock show. I was going to say 10, but the 11 o'clock, the post-Olympic show, golf, and all kinds of other great stuff.
All right. Thank you, Marty.
We'll be right back.
Most of the rain should stay to the west of us tonight. A slight chance for all of us then tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you, Shane. We'll see you after the Olympics.
Have a great night.